Alright, so I drove all over this morning checking beans, and I could not find a single field that I trusted to cut today. Might be able to go late this afternoon, but I don't have very high hopes. So I went and checked a couple cornfields, and I got one that's testing 19.5. It's one of the first fields it's one of the fields I planted on the first day. It's on blow sand, so it ran out of water awful quick. So it started drying down early. But it's just a little 4-acre piece. I don't have very high hopes for the yield because the ears are kind of puny because it's blow sand. But it should still be 140, 145 bushel corn, I would think. So anyway, we're gonna go shell that so we can at least get the 8700 out and in the field and give her a run and make sure everything's kosher. I don't see why it wouldn't be. But I gotta put the head on and fuel it up. Everything else is done. Oh, she tried. Angry girl. It's a little chilly in the barn with the doors shut. Today's actually supposed to be a fairly nice day, so we might get some decent drying on the beans. Tomorrow's supposed to be back up in the 70s. And then we went from one day of rain in the forecast this week on Thursday to now we got rain Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, which is neat. Don't get me wrong, I'd like to see some moisture going in the ground for tillage, but I'd also like to get beans cut. Really, I just want to get the one last field I got to get cut to get wheat planted, and then after that, things can come as they may. But I gotta close my door right there. So give me a minute. Brake button is gonna really get on my nerves. Parking brake is not on. I might dig with that real quick before we leave too, because it was annoying me last year. It's going to really annoy the shit out of me this year. There's a little thing that bends over when you release the parking brake, pushes down on a button. Well, there's a little bit of slop in it from the years of use, and it doesn't quite push down all the way. Okay. Got her fueled up, got the head on. I've had issues with the head on, or getting the head off that cart before with 7300s. It doesn't pick up as high, so I got a few tricks, but that wasn't any big deal. I got parking brake flap fixed for the limit switch, so should be good to go. It's going to be really nice not having to listen to that beeper all the time. Shorter. I go this way, I cross the highway in a better spot. So I'll go this way. Alright, we're here. I'm gonna get these end rolls worked off real quick, and then I call Dad and he's gonna bring the truck. He's got room to park off the driveway, and then we'll just, start working the field. Pick up, bud. Put the ladder up. getting everything off the cobs. And a little bit of butt shelling, but all the cobs are clean. Definitely have to bring a leaf blower, clean that mess up. But ain't nothing I can do about it. There wasn't enough room to turn around and hit it from that way. I had to come from this way, so. Alrighty, I'm gonna give Dad a call real quick and get him coming this way, and then we'll have at it. It's doing better than I thought it would. So this field might be one of them pleasant surprises. Because I got one pass down that side, 2 passes up this side, and then I only made it halfway back when I had to pull out, heading back toward the front. And this field's like 4.5 acres, so. And the pass down that side was not that great. Them first 8 rows. Well, the first 4 rows, I brought the saw because my original intent was to go down that fence row and saw limbs off as I was going. But the first 4 rows there are either trampled flat or have no ears on them, so it's not even worth me wasting the time and getting the combine over there in the trees. So, oh, here's Dad right here. So them first 4 rows, I'm probably just going to leave and I'll hit him with a stock chopper. Perfect timing. I've only been sitting here about 2 minutes, so good dealio. I'm all also kind of impressed. This thing, it's an R12 system and we charged it with R134 and it's still blowing cold air. It didn't leak down, so that's kind of impressive. Parking brake, no, heater tripped it. Good looking corn though. So that's a good sign. The only thing I'm worried about is test weight. That's the only thing that's got me scared. Just because of the way the season went. And I haven't talked to anybody that's run any corn yet to see what they've been seeing for test weight. Okay, there's the first load. That truck and this combine are matched pretty damn close to right. That's two very, very full hoppers. And you could fit a little bit more in there, but not much. So, but I pretty much got the field open up. I got one more set of end rows, and then we're gonna pop the center open. So, keep getting after it. We got a pretty decent hole in it. Combine's full again, and now I've got to wait on Dad to get back with the truck. It just was not worth bringing two trucks over here for what I had to do today. If we were going to do more, it would have been worth getting both trucks out, but this is really the only field I got that I wanted to run anyhow, at least for today, because the corn's so damn wet. Although it's the stuff I picked along the ends is obviously wetter, but this stuff isn't stacking near as bad. So the center or the back center is going to be definitely drier. I'm just curious to see how well it's running. So anyway, And this field is definitely gonna be on the list for this winter to get a haircut, because I bet I can push that fence line right there back at least 10 feet to where them big trees are, if not more. There might be 15 feet there, but either way, this field needs a haircut. Alright, Dad just got back with the truck. The first load moisture was 20.2 and test weight was 55 even, 282 bushels, so not terrible. Hopefully we can cram all this on that truck, but it's going to be tight. We probably should have packed the first load a little more. It was 282 dry. There was 305 on the truck, but once you take out the shrink, we're done for the time being. I was making a pass across the field there and something smelled weird, and I looked over and the temperature climbed up in the red. Like, well, that's weird, it's been fine. So I popped the hood, and the idler sprocket, or the idler pulley for the fan drive, the bearing had went out of it. One of the belts fell off, the other one got wedged back behind the fan drive pulley, so the fan was kind of half-ass turning. But until we get a new bearing in that pulley and 2 new belts now, well, as one door closes for the day in the form of getting that field of corn finished, I got a bean field. Actually, I got a couple bean. I checked 2 bean fields. I checked the one where the wheat's going, and I checked another one here on the other side of town. The one here on the other side of town, I'm damn near positive will run. The one where the wheat's going, it's got woods on all sides, so the wind hasn't gotten to it that great, and it has dried down a lot since this morning, but I don't think it's quite there yet. So I'm going to fuel up. Oh, apparently fuel right there. I'm going to fuel up the 7300 and get it ready to go. And by the time I get this ready and get out to the field, it's probably gonna be about an hour. And by that time, we should be in pretty decent shape. So that's where we're at. So we're gonna switch from shelling the corn to cutting beans. I had a spare, when that combine rolled over, it messed up that entire fan drive area, and I got a new fan drive assembly for it when I fixed it. Well, I got a spare pulley. But the bearing in the spare pulley sounds like it could go out at any time. And even if I had a bearing, I still need belts. So rather than dick around wasting the afternoon trying to chase parts and still not get anything done, I'm just gonna switch to beans. I'll call Maybach tomorrow, get the parts I need to fix the 87, since that's literally the only cornfield I got within at least a couple weeks. So I'm not in a super duper big hurry, as much as I would have liked to have at least got that one done. I'm not in a super duper huge hurry to get it done. There's still a load of corn sitting on Dad's truck. And if it comes to it and I need that truck, we'll just go dump it. But we left it in there, that way I go back and finish that field off and get everything on one load, so I can figure my yield out without wasting a trip down there to haul 100 bushel in on a truck. But anyway, we're gonna get switched around here and start cutting beans. All right, we are here. I'm gonna do the same thing I've been doing. I'm gonna make a round all the way around the field, check for moisture. If the moisture is good, we'll just keep right on running. So Dad's gonna bring the truck out if I can run. And with any luck at all, if I remember right, the elevator's open till 6 tonight. So if I can get this done, which I got plenty of time, if they'll run and we don't have any issues, should be able to get the truck empty yet tonight, so that it's empty for tomorrow. So that's where we're at. Alrighty, I made my round. They're clean and good. Testing 10.9, which amazes me because some of these things are still kind of squishy, but that's just the way beans have been this year. So with that being said, 10.9 beans, you send them all the way. couple of rounds around the outside. And Dad just got here with the truck, so perfect timing. And I tell you what, I don't want to say anything too ecstatic and piss off the combine gods, but one of those two things that I changed, either the feeder house or taking that baffle out of the back of the machine, turn this thing from a pig to a complete hog. I've pushed this thing harder in these 4 rounds than I have the entire time I cut beans with it last year. And at one point I actually had to slow down because I was outrunning the head. I mean, she went from a pooch to a tank. So when the 2 times she slugged, that was just her way of saying, hey guys, something is not right. So I don't want to jinx it because there's still time to screw up, but so far things are looking good. Definitely 50 bushel beans. My guess is somewhere around 52 to 54. 225 should have been 50 bushel even, and there should be more than 250 or 225 in there. And my tester was saying 57.7 test weight, and it is usually low, so it should be 58 to 59 pound test weight on them beans, just judging by past experience. Sorry for the lack of angles going on there. I was trying to get this done in time to get that load out of here, so I'm gonna go ahead and run this thing over to the other field where we're gonna pick up tomorrow. Okay, we are here. It feels weird without all the Tom's stuff along the driveway, but I actually called and talked to him the other day. He wants me to come up and see his new house, so at some point I gotta do that. He's not too far away from where I work, actually, but I think, because I got a minute till somebody gets here to pick me up, I think I might start cutting here just so that I'm pre-gaming for tomorrow, because the more I can get done tonight, the better. If I can get a full hopper, that's that much less I got to do tomorrow. So same thing, I'll make a round around the small field here, check the moisture. I gotta believe it's in the same ballpark as the field I was just at, so we shall see. Alrighty, fast forward back to the farm. I went over there and I made a round around the field, and there's a couple green spots. They were testing, averaging out about, well, moisture tester averaged it at 13.9, which is too close to 14 for my comfort, so I'm going to give it another day, but tomorrow they ought to come right down, because tomorrow's supposed to be back up in the 70s, which is going to suck. In the respect that today it was cool enough I could run with the door shut on the combine and still be reasonably comfortable in the cab. Tomorrow, if it's back up in the 70s, you have to run with the door open again to stay cool enough in the cab to be able to stand it. But I still like cutting beans with that combine, especially now that we got to sort it out. That's some pretty corn, I tell you what. Yeah, I already told you the test weight and everything on that. It's going to be tough getting the rest of that field to fit in there. There's still 5 sets of 4. But that first load of beans Dad hauled in was 58.2 test weight, 10.8 moisture, 0.3 damage, 0.3 foreign material, and there was some splits, 8.1, which you start getting under 11% on beans, and that's a 10.8 average. There were some beans out there that I was biting on that were, I guarantee you, way under 10, which is probably where all those splits came from. Truth be told, I should have probably jumped on that feed. I should have probably not shelled corn and not gotten a big yank and just waited for those beans to dry down, but I honestly didn't think they would have. Because if I'd have started on those about noon, they'd have probably been about 12. And I probably would have avoided all those splits, but we made a decision. We went with it. I know you haven't seen me all day. Well, I'm not all day. You haven't seen me for a couple hours. What? But 241 bushel. Divide that by 4.5, which is roughly what that field is. That's 53.6 bushel an acre, which is not bad at all. I honestly didn't think that field was going to make it over 50. The way it looked, so I'm impressed. This field that we just left off at, that one, the big side of the field on the other side of the driveway looks pretty decent. That small side, the hillside took a real beating when that drought, and there's not a whole lot of beans there, so that field might not make it to 50. But I didn't think this one was going to make it to 50, and it did. So there might be luck yet. So anyhow, and I've only got about 15 more bushel I need to haul in to finish filling my bean contracts, and then I'm going to be on the current market prices. So, but anyhow, I guess that's it for this one, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Back to shelling beans, or not shelling, back to cutting beans tomorrow.